Silicon Valley absolutely sucks at stopping Chinese espionage, and it will come back to bite them. Oh wait, it already has. Welcome to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. Just a reminder that we're in Operation Honeypot Phase 2. Remember to watch this video to the end and leave a like and a honeypot comment. So, have you ever wondered where China gets all of its great ideas? Well, look no further than Silicon Valley, California. It's a veritable gold mine of valuable technology for China, like this prototype android for Meta, though it needs a lot of work if they're going to try and pass it off as human. In fact, FBI officials say half of Chinese espionage aimed at stealing technology occurs there. And it's super effective. Let's look at an example. Earlier this month, the Department of Justice announced that an ex-Google engineer is facing new charges over theft of AI secrets for Chinese companies, including 7 counts of economic espionage and 7 counts of theft of trade secrets. I say new charges because these are on top of the charges from last March. That Google engineer is one Linwei Ding, who also goes by Leon Ding. He was hired by Google in 2019. Last March, it was alleged that Ding had copied more than 500 files of confidential Google information into the Apple Notes app on his Google-issued MacBook, converted the Apple Notes into PDF files, and uploaded them into a Google Drive account from May 2022 to May 2023. He used Google to steal from Google. I guess he was feeling lucky. Further, last year's indictment said he failed to disclose his connections to 2 China-based companies, one of which he founded. Nor did Ding disclose the fact that he booked a one-way ticket from San Francisco to Beijing. It was only after Google detected Ding uploading more files from a Google network to another Google Drive account from China that they began to suspect something was up. So they began to look into it. Upon review of surveillance footage, Google discovered something weird happening. They observed another employee scanning Ding's access badge to a Google building, making it appear as though Ding was working from his US Google office, when in fact, he was in China. All of this is super sus. But the new indictment has even more to say about Ding's actions. Ding didn't just copy and upload 500 files, it was more than 1,000. It was the most egregious copy job I've seen since Ice Ice Baby. I still can't believe Under Pressure somehow stole that song's bass line over a decade before it came out. Shame on you, David Bowie and Queen. According to the indictment, Ding also circulated a PowerPoint presentation to employees in the company he founded, citing China's 2017 notice on the development of the new generation of artificial intelligence, and a 2023 policy document called Interim Measures for Management of Generative AI Services, which was published and sponsored by 7 Chinese government agencies. Ding also allegedly created a PowerPoint presentation containing an application to a PRC talent program based in Shanghai. That application stated that Ding's product will help China to have computing power infrastructure capabilities that are on par with the international level. And by Ding's product, I mean Google's product. What an innovator. A true master of Control-C and Control-V. And that wasn't shady enough. An internal memo for Ding's company indicated that it intended to provide services to multiple PRC-controlled entities, including government agencies and universities. This should have been a huge wake-up call for American tech companies. But whether they're doing enough to combat Chinese espionage remains to be seen. Media outlets like the Financial Times say Silicon Valley companies, including Google, OpenAI, and Sequoia Capital, stepped up staff screening in June of 2024 over Chinese espionage threats. What did Google do? Start Googling who they hire? Well, right after Ding was first indicted, Google claimed to have strict safeguards to prevent theft of trade secrets. And now, almost a year later, some say Silicon Valley is going through a red scare, with people thinking twice before they let in potential Chinese agents. But a Google spokesperson told Business Insider that Google hasn't stepped up its screening processes. I'm begging you, Google, at least ask Jeeves, what are you doing? In fact, according to China expert Christopher Balding, Google insiders will tell you about entire teams run and staffed with Chinese nationals that are pledging allegiance to Chinese leader Xi Jinping. Suddenly all my problems with YouTube makes a lot more sense. And given how far Google went to kiss up to the CCP in 2018 by making a secret search engine that links searches to phone numbers, allowing even more CCP surveillance, this extra doesn't surprise me. I think what Google needs to search for more than anything is a spine and a conscience. This is what's crazy. Google has bent over backwards to please the Chinese Communist Party, and it didn't matter. They still sent spies to steal their stuff, and after President Trump slapped tariffs on China, China retaliated by launching an antitrust probe into Google. It's intentionally vague, and it might seem like an odd move since most of Google's products are banned in China. But Chinese e-commerce sites like Shein and Temu advertise heavily on Google. Doing business with China is such a bad idea. Of course, Google isn't alone. Silicon Valley still employs thousands of Chinese workers, but it's impossible to know how many. Now, I'm not pointing all this out to encourage racism or paranoia. Case in point, the dude who wrote this script is Asian, and so is Shelley. And they're not secret CCP agents, I think. But we can't deny that China does, in fact, send Chinese people like Ding to do its bidding in American tech companies. Apple definitely knows that from experience. I guess Apple employees aren't geniuses after all. And yet it seems that big tech is adamant about keeping Chinese staff employed. Who knows how many are working for China right under people's noses? And these people can do more than just steal technology and know-how. They can also manipulate the algorithms that control what users see or don't see. YouTube is one such example. We've discovered it's been pushing pro-CCP content big time and hiding anti-CCP content like China Uncensored, though this could be a case of Google not being able to search for a spine or a conscience. But it makes me wonder how much influence Chinese employees have on YouTube's algorithms. For all we know, Chinese employees working in American big tech could be a major reason why CCP critics like China Uncensored get screwed over. Because why limit yourself to censoring the billion people in your own country when you can go out and try to censor the whole world? Before launching Operation Honeypot, I discovered that many of you didn't see China Uncensored content on your recommended video feeds. And if you don't know what Operation Honeypot is, it's probably because you didn't see the video in your recommended video feed. YouTube would have us believe that it's simply because we weren't engaging enough, but we've proven them wrong. And it's not just us. The Network Contagion Research Institute at Rutgers University also noticed something about YouTube was sus, especially when it came to certain topics like the Uyghurs and Xinjiang, or as China calls it, the what and where? That's why I need you, my 50-cent army, to stop soft censorship from YouTube. Your consistent effort is turning the tide. So thank you, LEMG, for watching until the end, and even watching commercials. That's dedication. Sword of Aegis, thank you for looking for me in your recommendations. Rachel Shanefield, good to know that even my older videos are finally showing up. Isaac, good to know that YouTube is finally giving you notifications again. Glenn Lewis, China Uncensored should always be #1 in your heart. And finally, Plot Hole Detective, thank you for using your detective skills to find China Uncensored episodes that YouTube wasn't showing you. There are still a lot of people out there, like Plot Hole Detective, who are not seeing China Uncensored in their recommendations. So Operation Honeypot still has work to do. Remember to click on China Uncensored videos in your recommended feed. Watch my videos until the end and leave a like and a honeypot comment. Thank you for proving to YouTube people are engaged and not just bots, like this unconvincing android from Meta. And as you can imagine, this has been a huge financial loss for our show. If you can support us, please join our premium website at ChinaUncensored.tv. We do exclusive episodes and live streams there too. If it wasn't for our website subscribers, we wouldn't have been able to get through the past few months. So thank you to all of our subscribers. If you can't subscribe right now, thank you for supporting Operation Honeypot. I'm Chris Chappell, 50 Cent Army. Let the honey flow.